Gametrailers Game of the Year Awards 2007. Game of the Year.
This is it, the moment you've been waiting for. Gametrailers is about to crown its Game of the Year for 2007. We firmly believe that this year was one of the greatest the industry has ever seen. The sales numbers certainly support this assertion, and so do the bags underneath our eyes from too many nights fueled by energy drinks and pure unadulterated pixel pushing. We want to take this moment to commend the industry as a whole for pushing things forward and nailing it in the process. These are the creme de la creme of 2007.
And the nominees are BioShock.
What's left to be said about BioShock? It was a testament to releasing games outside of the holiday cycle, as it garnered a lot more interest than it would have. And that's a good thing, because it was worthy of attention.
Look, Mr. Bubbles, it's Angel.
BioShock transcended the typical rabble with its thoughtful setting and story, and asked more of the player than merely blasting their way to the next checkpoint. We will always remember the little girls, the big daddies that protected them, and the inventive plasmids that challenged us to experiment.
Halo 3.
We think a lot more people would be singing the praises of Halo 3 if it were available for all three consoles, but comments driven by jealousy have been successful in changing the perception of the game by the mainstream. That didn't stop us from enjoying it for far more hours than any other game released this year. In fact, it's the only game on our list of the Game of the Year nominees that we still played, months after its release. Fanboy hatred aside, this game delivered on every front. The campaign was the best in the series, and allowed you to play with up to 4 friends online. The multiplayer was untouchable, and your creativity could run wild with the Forge and in-game videos.
Mass Effect.
It may have skirted a little too closely to the foundation laid down by Knights of the Old Republic, but no other developer has managed to eclipse that design. Mass Effect took things a step further with squad-based combat and even more complex conversation trees. The visuals weren't too shabby either. Value is weighted heavily in the evaluation of games at GT, and we got as much bang for our $60 as we could ask for with Mass Effect. It was one of the few games of 2007 where the single-player campaign was worth playing multiple times.
Metroid Prime 3 Corruption.
Until Metroid Prime 3 was released, we were beginning to wonder if the Wii Remote was anything more than a case of bait and switch. After we played it, we realized that the mouse and keyboard may no longer be the ideal way to play first-person shooters. Aside from pioneering point-and-blast controls, it was easily the best game in the series. Most backtracking was only there for those who chose to explore. Boss battles were frequent and exhilarating. The art cleverly hid the technical limitations of the console, and in all, it was a blast to play from beginning to end, without sacrificing the feeling of isolation the series is known for. There wasn't a more polished game released in 2007.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Super Mario Sunshine was great, but when held up against the sublime standards of Super Mario 64, it undoubtedly fell a butt stomp short of expectations. Super Mario Galaxy suffered no such fate. It incorporated the Wii Remote without it being intrusive. It concentrated on what Mario fans wanted, platforming, and it featured more variety than any other game released this year. The platforming genre may have been dead, but we predict that a renaissance may be at hand after Nintendo laid down the gauntlet.
And the winner is... Super Mario Galaxy.
This battle came down between two games, Super Mario Galaxy and Halo 3. It was extraordinarily difficult to choose between the two, but what ultimately swung the vote in Mario's direction was that it could be enjoyed to the fullest with just the console and the controller. Where to get the most out of Halo 3, Xbox Live was a prerequisite. When we looked at this category, we ultimately tried to decide which game of 2007 we had the most fun playing, and Super Mario Galaxy was it. It featured so many different gameplay styles, all perfectly executed, and power-ups that weren't just a means to an end. To offer this much gameplay with so few hiccups was a monumental effort in and of itself. To ensure that the joy came through 121 stars strong, made it Gametrailers Game of the Year for 2007.